All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Sector for Nerds. Today we're going to be doing a tier list video for all of the Disney Plus shows for both Star Wars and Marvel. This is our second tier list video that we are doing here on the channel. Last week we ranked all of the Star Wars movies from, S tier to F. If you guys missed it, highly recommend that you go and check that out, and make sure you guys subscribe to this channel as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. But today, you guys, we have a large list of shows and actually, yeah, just shows that are from the Star Wars and Marvel universe. I thought, you know what, let's rank all of the Disney Plus stuff, because this is between all of the Star Wars and Marvel stuff, you guys, I have been covering this stuff since the beginning of Disney Plus, and it's definitely an exciting time, right? With all the great content that we've got out there. Some of it not so great, but that's what we're here to talk about today. So these were supposed to be in chronological order, and I'm realizing now that that is not what this turned out to be. Actually, I think the Marvel ones are actually. At least it looks like it, but the Star Wars shows are definitely not in chronological order. All right, there's too much to remember here, guys, so we're just gonna go in the order that it is given me here, and yeah, we will just go from there. So, all right, let's talk about Ahsoka, the newest show that we just got for Star Wars, ironically. I'm going to give this a solid A because I absolutely loved the show. I adored it. If you guys haven't checked out my thoughts on the show, go check out my Ahsoka playlist as I talk about each and every episode of the show. I did a video a couple weeks ago where I broke down, all my overall thoughts on the show. It's incredible. And I feel like a lot of it just has to do with the fact that I love Ahsoka, I love Sabine, I love Thrawn, all those guys. All right. Oh, oh, look what's next up on our list. Oh, I'm going to make a lot of people mad with what I'm about to do for this one. Insert angry comments now. It's no secret for those that watch my channel, I hated Andor. It's like my least favorite Star Wars thing they've done. Like that and Solo both, I didn't enjoy. Whereas this one up here very much felt like Star Wars. This did not feel like Star Wars at all. Maybe if they didn't have like the Star Wars branding all over this and this was just like a show, I don't know, maybe I'd, be generous and give it like a D. But yeah, no, they put the Star Wars labeling on it, and I don't know, I didn't like it. Didn't feel like Star Wars. Okay, moving on to The Bad Batch. We are gonna give a B for The Bad Batch. B for Bad Batch, everybody. Is it as good as Clone Wars and Rebels? No, but I think that Bad Batch is doing some solid work, you guys, and telling some really good stories during the time between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. I love the idea that they're telling us like how the galaxy is transitioning from the Republic to the Empire, and it's being told through the eyes of these clones. The show has done wonders for all of the clones that are involved, made you more invested in each and every one of them. I never thought that I would like Tech as much as I did after Bad Batch Season 2 was done with, but Season 2 did wonders for Tech. Wrecker, of course, is my guy. You've got Hunter, who, after Season 1, was a character that I really enjoyed. Really, after that first episode, I'm like, oh, this show's gonna do wonders for Hunter. Having Echo in there as well is fantastic. And then there's Crosshair, who they have done some incredible episodes with him. Yeah, the show is still going on at the time of this recording. We haven't had Season 3 yet, but hopefully that is something we should be getting soon. Moving on to The Book of Boba Fett. As you guys can tell, we are doing the Star Wars portion of this playlist first, of this tier list first, and then we will be moving on to the Marvel stuff. So Book of Boba Fett, I think... Oh, okay. So here's my thing with Book of Boba Fett, right? Without all of the Mandalorian stuff in it, it's a C-level show. It's just an average show. With those episodes that we got of like the Mandalorian in them, and then we had like Luke Skywalker, Grogu, Ahsoka, it moves it up to a B for me. which is, I feel like, higher than this show has any rights to be. It was just kind of like an average show, but then The Mandalorian kind of hijacked it, and for better or worse, and I honestly think for the better, it makes the show that much better. That one episode, From the Desert Comes a Stranger, that 6th episode of Book of Boba Fett, is one of the best live-action Disney Plus episodes they've ever done for anything. Moving on to the Clone Wars, and I guess, we really just have to talk about Clone Wars Season 7, but, I mean, alright, come on. Nope, it's not going in A. We all know where this is going. S tier, baby. We should have gotten more, but then Disney canceled it back in the day. Thanks for that again, Disney. And yeah, once it came back, we only got 12 episodes. And honestly, I think the purpose of these 12 episodes were to do two things. The first purpose was get you to know the Bad Batch because they knew they were going to be making a show about them. And then two, finishing the story of Ahsoka and Rex. Two characters that we didn't know what had happened to them after the Clone Wars, and this had showed us what exactly had happened. Like, obviously we have Rebels, we know they survived, but like, how did we get there is essentially what this was. All right, moving on to Kenobi. We are putting Kenobi at a solid B. What's the thing that I've always said about Kenobi? Those who watch my channel a lot, it's a B-level show that should have been an easy A+. Don't get me wrong, I liked Kenobi. It was a solid show. But man, when you have a show with like Obi-Wan Kenobi and Darth Vader in it, you gotta do a little bit. My expectations are a little bit higher because it's like the two main characters, and I don't think the story delivered on all that it could have. I think they added in too many new characters that just weren't necessary. I felt like the Inquisitors being there just didn't do what I thought they were gonna do. But I was also expecting us to maybe get like a character like a Quinlan Vos or a Cal Kestis or some other Jedi that were around during that time that the Inquisitors could have gone up against. Because otherwise it just felt like the Inquisitors were just there to be there. They just stood around the whole time. Really didn't do anything. And then we all know what happened to the frickin' Grand Inquisitor, and I don't care if the fact that he's still alive. I hated that scene from the 2nd episode where Reva stabbed him. And not just the fact that I hate that when movies and shows, stab characters that they don't plan on killing. I called out the, thing that they did with Sabine as well. I was not a fan of that. But this is about more than just that. It's like taking the head Inquisitor and making him look like a freaking chump. But again, like the stuff that Obi-Wan and Vader did, I thought was pretty good. So I don't want to sit there and say that I didn't enjoy the show. I like what they did with Obi-Wan's arc. I just think it could have been a little bit better. So what is, yes, The Mandalorian. I was wondering what was going to be up next. Mandalorian, you guys, that's going in the A tier. Mandalorian, you guys, when that show started, I did not expect to like it as much as I did. But after that first season, I'm like, wow, like if this is the standard of which all of the Disney Plus content is going to be, we are in for some amazing times ahead of us. I think season 3 was definitely a little bit weaker, but I still enjoyed it. I'm hoping that when they do season 4, we get back to the basics when it comes to this show. Just make it like season 1 and season 2, and we're gonna have ourselves a fine time. But moving on, because we've got a bunch of other shows to do here, we've got Star Wars Visions. I think Star Wars Visions we're gonna give a C. I think there were definitely some fantastic episodes that are like A tier, and then there were some episodes that were very much F tier. Tales of the Jedi, that is going up in the A column. Holy crap, when they announced that they were going to be doing this, you guys, like, oh, I was excited. Tales of the Jedi, to me, just felt like an extension of the Clone Wars, and I think it did everything that it set out to do. Honestly, you know what? Screw it. Actually, I'm putting it in the S tier, because like I said, if it's an extension of Clone Wars and Clone Wars is S tier, this is going in S tier as well, you guys. Dave Filoni and the Clone Wars animation, the Clone Wars style, just, oh, this stuff is just so good. I absolutely adore it. Yeah, that's going in the S tier for sure. Yeah. Oh, okay. That concludes all of the Star Wars shows that are here on the tier list. So let's kind of run these down real quick. We've got Clone Wars, Tales of the Jedi in S tier. We've got Ahsoka and Mandalorian in the A tier. B has Bad Batch, Book of Boba Fett, and Kenobi. Visions is a C, and to the chagrin of many, Andor is at an F. And if you have a problem with that, make your own tier list. Let us move on to the Marvel side of things. So we're starting out here with WandaVision, the first Disney Plus show that they did as far as Marvel content goes. Obviously, the first show for Disney Plus as a whole was Mandalorian, but then we get WandaVision. WandaVision, I feel like I'm going to have to give a D. I don't think it was the worst thing that they've ever done, but I do not think it was great either. It was definitely a below average show. I tried to get into it as much as I could, but it was like, okay, yeah, it's fine, I guess. But just a lot of it, I felt bored. I was into the Darcy and Jimmy Woo storyline more than I was like Wanda's actual storyline. Let's move on to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I liked this show, like when I first watched it, and then I watched back it a second time, and I felt like it was a really hard rewatch. And maybe that's because it was like after we got some of these shows here, which I thought were fantastic. So where do I want to put Falcon? I think I'm going to give Falcon and Winter Soldier a C, I think is what I'm going to do. I thought it was a fine show. I didn't think there was too much wrong with it. I just didn't think it was, that it was that great. Loki, okay. This is one that I got to think about. So right now, you guys, we're setting up the timeline here. At the time of this recording, Loki season 1 is here, but we've only had the first 2 episodes of Loki season 2. And so far, I think they have done a phenomenal job. I thought season 1 was pretty good in like setting up this new variant of Loki. And I think that Loki season 2 so far, we're seeing sides to Loki and seeing him do things that we would have never seen the other Loki do. And I think that is a little bit fascinating. So I think, where do I want to, I think I'm going to give it a B. I don't know if I'm ready to give it an A because I feel like I have to see where the rest of season 2 goes. So for now, I'm giving Loki a solid B. What If? That is going to go A tier for sure. This show was absolutely fantastic. And I cannot wait for them to do a season 2 if that's still in the books. But oh my gosh, you guys, these were just incredible. I wish Star Wars would do something like this, like a what if style show. The episode with T'Challa Star-Lord was one of my favorites. That freaking zombie episode was crazy. The Doctor Strange episode, holy crap, that one was dark. I remember there was a period of time where like every time I went over to my uncle's house, and it was only a handful of times, but every time that I did, we had always watched that episode just because we all thought like, this is incredible. I love the way that they intertwined all of the stories together at the end for like the final episode. They did some truly phenomenal work in this show. Moving on to Hawkeye. Hawkeye I'm putting up there in A. Oh, not B. I'm putting up in A as well. I think I might be in the minority, but I really enjoyed Hawkeye. I say the minority because I feel like no one ever talks about this show as much, but I loved what they did with Hawkeye and him training Kate Bishop and taking her on as pretty much his apprentice, right? I loved them bringing Yelena into the show, and after that show, Yelena shot up my list of favorite characters in the MCU. And of course, bringing in the Kingpin, Vincent D'Onofrio, Wilson Fisk, was just something truly amazing. It just felt like they took him out of the Marvel Netflix show and just plopped him right into the MCU. I think maybe a little like more not R-rated, because like you watch Daredevil and Wilson Fisk does some terrible things that I don't know if they will ever, let them do in the actual, MCU, because a lot of those movies are much more like PG or PG-13. You try to keep them a little bit more family friendly, but we'll see what they do. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed Hawkeye. The whole Christmas theme thing, this is not a Christmas show. Even though it's Christmas themed, really the only thing that was Christmas themed about it is it was just around Christmas time. And Hawkeye kept saying Merry Christmas like 20 times an episode. But other than that, it is not a Christmas show. Moon Knight. I think Moon Knight we are going to have to also give an A to. Not a C. I can just move this up here to an A. I really enjoyed Moon Knight. I've only seen it the one time. It's still a show that I want to go back and rewatch again at some point. But first time watching it through, it was something different. It was something exciting. I thought that the team that worked on that did a good job. Oscar Isaac as, playing two different sides to a character I really enjoyed. And yeah, I think that's all I got to say about that. Let's move on to Secret Invasion. I think I'm gonna give Secret Invasion either a C or a B. Think. I'll give it a B. Maybe I'm being a little generous on this one, but I don't know, I thought the show was fine. I don't know though. I don't know if it's a show that necessarily has any rewatchability to it, because like after I was done watching it, I'm like, I don't feel the desire to go and watch this again. I did enjoy it though. I did. Yeah, screw it. We'll keep it at a B. Miss Marvel. It's like giving it's either a C or a D. I think I'm gonna put it at D. It was nothing that like makes it deserve to be an F, but like there was nothing that was really that great about this show either. It just felt like a show. I Am Groot. I'll give it a C. I'll just give it baseline C. The episodes were fine. It was a fine little thing that they did. I haven't seen the what was it, like the season 2 episodes yet. I guess I'll have to go and do that. But the first, 5 that they did for season 1, the little shorts, yeah, I guess it's C. I don't really have anything too bad to say about it, but nothing fantastic. I didn't watch the werewolf thing, by the way, for those that are wondering where that is. I don't even know if that was a show. I think it was just like a mini movie or something like that. I don't know. But then we got She-Hulk. This is going in the F tier, and it is not even up for discussion. You know what was really terrible about, these two shows were both going on at the same time, and I'm sitting there like, oh man, this one sucks, but hopefully the other one will be good, and just both of these shows just sucked so freaking bad. This was a boring show. The only episode that I kind of enjoyed was the one where Daredevil showed up, and I think that is only because I love the Marvel Netflix Daredevil so much. But I hated how she unmasked him, and I hate that they're now going to be a potential couple in the MCU. Where's Karen Page at? I want Matt Murdock and Karen Page to be a thing. Like, of all the Matt Murdock ships from the Daredevil show, and I guess if we're counting She-Hulk as well, Karen Page is at the top for me. But man, that last episode of She-Hulk is like, words can't describe like how insanely bad it was. The whole ending to the show wasn't her overcoming adversity. It wasn't her, defeating, a bad guy or anything like that. It was her breaking the fourth wall, going into the Marvel Studios, breaking the fourth wall, and said, yeah, what we're doing actually sucks. This story is stupid, and I'm gonna change the way that I want it to end because I have that ability to do so now. So we're just gonna take away all of the bad guys' powers. Instead of me being the hero trying to defeat them, can you just take away their powers so I don't have to do anything? It's not fair that these bad guys have powers, so instead of me overcoming them and defeating them, I want you to just take them away. Oh yeah, and let's strip Matt Murdock of his free will. Just pluck him out of wherever he is and bring him back to me because a girl has her needs. Oh my gosh, this was insanely bad. Oh my gosh, it was bad. And like I said, it was even worse that these two shows were like pretty much going on at the same time, back to back. I was like losing my mind at this time, or I was just like trying not to lose my mind because of how shitty I thought both of these shows were. So hey you guys, this is my tier list for all the shows that we got on here. Let's go through them again, shall we? We've got Clone Wars and Tales of the Jedi in the S tier, Ahsoka, Mandalorian, What If, Hawkeye, and Moonlight in the A tier, Bad Batch, Book of Boba, Kenobi, Loki, and Secret Invasion in the B column. We got Visions, Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I Am Groot in the C tier, WandaVision and Miss Marvel in the D tier, and then in the F tier, we have Andor and She-Hulk. So that's going to conclude our video for today, you guys. If you like this video, if you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments below. Make sure you guys let me know your thoughts on my list. Give me your own tier list as well for people, because everyone's going to have a different tier list, you guys. Everyone's going to have a different, look than what mine is. You're most likely going to disagree with the, places where I put things, but that's okay because everyone has their own opinions. Everyone likes their own things. I feel like the world would be kind of boring if we all just liked and disliked the same things. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with others to help support the channel as I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. And I will see you guys next time.